Hello. Didn't do the clearing of the throat thing before I came on her. Okay, I'm good. I'm good. Right. Well, today, or should I go for yesterday instead? Like, what did I do yesterday? Besides work. Well, actually, not besides work. Not besides work. No, I've been. Again, I'm always hating whenever I have to talk about, like, whenever I have to, whenever I feel like I want to, like, talk to my friends about this, but this is like, this is not for a live stream, but I was talking to my ex. We've been talking a lot because, well, basically she's got a teenager and it's my fault. So it's like, yeah. Anyway, that kind of like took up a lot of yesterday. All of my working time was taken up by that. So, like, I didn't do any work yesterday at all. I had planned. I had everything ready for filming the couple of videos that I wanted to film yesterday. So my mustache hair keeps trying to get into my mouth. It's because I wore the pig hood. I think that's what it is. I wore the pig hood, so now all of my facial hair is revolting against me. It's like, we didn't like that when you put us in behind the rubber. We didn't like that, or we're gonna just be all up in your business. Yeah. So I had everything ready to go, and then kind of like I got a call, and then I got stuck kind of talking to a friend that I'm trying to. I'm helping him write the story, the whole detective story thing for ChatGPT, because I'm not going to write that story, and I told him that I'm not going to write the story, but he really likes this story so much that essentially he's going to write the story, and he's going to publish it somewhere. So that'll be cool. If he ever does finish the story and it gets published, I will put a link on Discord. But yeah. Anyway, yesterday's that was happening. That was happening yesterday. It was basically taken up by two long calls, and yeah, I ended up not filming the thing. However, it did make it very easy for me to just jump in and film the thing today, even though I hadn't got like everything super planned. So yeah, I did a successful test of my new portable rechargeable aquarium pump, which is cool. So I like that one better than I got one that was battery operated and one that was rechargeable, just because I've had one that was battery operated in the past, and it was reliable. It worked all the time. It literally just died because the insides of it are broken. You know, there are broken pieces of plastic and wires that have become unsoldered, and it's like, I'm not willing to invest in the time that it would take to basically fix this thing. So I'm getting rid of that one, or I'm going to give it to somebody. I don't know yet. I think Daryl has an aquarium, so I might give it to him. And yeah, so I got two new ones and one that doesn't require batteries, even though the batteries I've lasted for a year, 2 years, maybe more. I don't know. They've been in that thing for a long time, and because I haven't got the rechargeable batteries, because I found some on Amazon, that basically are rechargeable. USB kind of like you slot it into the battery and it kind of like charges it up, which is kind of cool. And they arrived and they were very cheap, so I didn't have to worry about spending too much money on them. So like I hadn't got those yet. I put the old ones from the old pump into the new pump and it works fine. It's a bit finicky with the switch. Like you turn it on and it takes a while for it to kind of like build up. Then it turns on and it's like, why? I've seen the insides of this thing. It doesn't make sense why there's such a big delay between the switch turning on and it actually working. It works every time. It's just that it takes a while every time, and it's strange. It's strange. So I'm not so much a fan of the new battery operated pump. However, the rechargeable pump is like very, very easy to basically like plug in. It has like lights on it and stuff. However, it seems to have a trigger switch. Like a hair trigger switch. I put it in my pocket and it went off in my pocket. Like it turned itself on in my pocket, which is a little bit creepy and also kind of like, well, that's annoying for a couple of reasons. What if I put it into storage somewhere and it falls over and then basically its button gets pressed, and then when I go to use it, its battery's died or something, or if the battery discharges, I have no idea. It's just it's like I'm gonna have to put it in a box or something. I don't know. So yeah, like I tested out the new pumps. They both seem to work. One's a bit scary. The new battery powered one does also pump out a lot quicker. Whereas the rechargeable one has an intermittent mode where it will pump for 10 seconds and then stop for 10 seconds, then pump for 10 seconds. And that's the mode I used in like the video, because it basically gave me a little bit of time to relax a little bit. So yeah, its results were very impressive. At least I think so. I don't know. Kamui. I don't know if that's how you spell your name, pronounce your name, but yeah. About how much do you weigh? Around about 320. I think it might be back up to 330. I don't know. And then they say hi, which is always funny. It's always funny when basically somebody just yells a question at you without even introducing themselves or saying anything. Just like throw like a random question at you. Anyway, yeah. So I tested out the pumps. I used one of the pumps in the video. I also drank 2 liters of half and half of orange juice and water as well, just for the first video that I filmed. Only because I didn't really have any beer, and it was just kind of like, well, I got juice. I was just going to do water, but then basically water is dangerous if you have lots of water without, putting salt in it or something. I can't remember the exact trick. I don't know. I know this is completely off topic and it's completely random, but maybe somebody will know what's going on here. I don't wear socks, and I literally just slip into some shoes and I walk around the house, and I basically just wear them in my office and stuff to stop bugs from crawling on my feet and stuff. And yeah, sometimes in the hot weather especially, my feet can get sweaty, my shoes can become damp, and Yeah, I've combated this in the past by basically putting salt in my shoe, just a little bit of salt, you know. Basically, I get my gun that shoots salt, and I just shoot it into the shoe, and you know when I take the shoes off when I go to bed, and then by morning that's usually helped dry out the shoe, and maybe even disinfect it a little bit. I don't know. It basically it seems to work, so sometimes I do that. However, the past couple of days, my feet have really hurt. Um, and also my shoes have kind of like they still remain kind of wet and damp and stuff when I put my feet in them in the morning. So yeah, I made careful thing. I had a shower today, and I made careful work of basically like delicately brushing my feet and you know scrubbing my feet and stuff, and making sure there's no like blisters or like 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 trench foot like I had before. Jesus, still can't believe that I had trench foot. Um, and I also put some bicarbonate of soda, you know, baking powder, basically, in my shoe to A, stop the odor, and B, because that's what you do when you basically want to like disinfect fabrics and stuff, you know. And essentially, the powder is still in the shoe with my foot. So I'm like, and my feet feel a little bit better, but at the same time, not back to normal. And I kind of thought that that would give me an immediate effect of effective relief when I, you know, scrubbed my feet and had the bicarbonate of soda in my shoe, you know. I don't know. Can it be harmful if you basically like are exposed to baking powder for a long period of time? Like if it's against your skin for a long period of time, is that bad? I don't know. Hey, Panda Fox. But yeah, I mean that's just a weird thing that's been happening to me for like I haven't been I've been intentionally not standing up and walking around as much for the past couple of days, which has made me feel kind of like very lethargic and shit because I hate sitting down for long periods of time. And I can't go bare feet here because there are bugs. Even in the house, there are bugs. And if they freak me out, if they basically just touch my feet, that's it. I'm freaked out. Like it really bugs me. So yeah. So I have to wear the shoes when I'm standing up. Um, like when I'm sat down, sometimes I slip my feet out of my shoes. That's one of the reasons why I've got these shoes is basically I can just slip my feet in and out of them. Super easy. I'm going to do that now, actually. It's getting my feet back into them. That's the annoying part sometimes. But yeah. Yeah, it looks like the baking powder is just like stuck to my feet. Whatever. I thought this was going to be the opening to kind of like a small horror story for a second there, I was like gonna take my feet out of my shoes and like, oh my god, it's all bloody and gross and stuff, and my feet are dissolving. But no, it's just like stuck to my foot. What are you up to, Panafox? How's your weekend starting? I need somebody to look after my feet. There are enough guys that are into feet that I should be able to like find somebody that will, do all of the do the pedicure. Is it a pedicure for the foot? I think it is. Pedicure and like, give you foot rubs and stuff. I do know a couple of people that are really into my feet. Problem is that they live very far away. Feet are weird. Yeah, I know. If I'm completely honest, I would be fine. I know I've said this already in a couple of times, but I don't really have that much of an attachment to my like my lower legs and stuff. Ever since my accident, I just kind of like, I was kind of preparing myself in when I was in hospital. I was kind of preparing myself because my legs were completely destroyed, like crushed completely. I was preparing myself for like I'm going to be an amputee for the rest of my life now because I did a stupid motorcycle trick. Um, and yeah, it kind of hit me that it's actually not that big of a deal. You know, I was expecting there to be kind of some kind of like, oh my god, this is going to be horrible and stuff. Why is this happening to me? But in fact, in my head, I was more like, okay, And ever since then, it's kind of like, I want this one. If I'm going to have a peg leg, I want this one. And I would go all out, by the way. I would actually have a peg leg. I would opt for a peg leg, None of this bullshit about, I'd lean into the chunky pirate look. I would totally be okay with that. But yeah. Like, I'd have a prosthetic leg, of course, for when I want to go walking seriously and stuff. But I would be totally okay with just having a peg leg. Like, I would be fine with that. But yeah, but no, both my legs have basically completely recovered, except for now they're chunkier. Um, and yeah, I've got minor issues and a limp, but it's like if you'd seen how awful the accident was, then it was like, yeah, he's not gonna have one of his legs. Like, well, at least one of them is gone. It's like, no. Anyway, yeah, feet are weird, I guess. But yeah, I kind of feel like the not having the one of the legs would have been preferable to the kind of random bullshit that foot problems give you, you know? At least to me personally, you know? Because of the whole, yeah, it's like, so what is going on with my feet? And the whole random trench foot thing as well. Like, I'm still surprised that didn't become a thing, especially since after I learned about what it was, what exactly it was with my feet and stuff. Oh, before anybody basically gets on my butt because apparently I've talked about this before. But before anybody gets on my butt about like being insensitive to amputees, or basically like, oh, how could you say such a thing about like wanting to be an amputee or something? I'm not saying that, for one thing. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that basically, if there was like a thing that happened to this leg, I wouldn't be that that bummed out about losing it. And second, I know amputees. And the two, both of the amputees that I know that have been personal friends of mine have basically been like, yeah, it's been awesome, you know, like they well, like one of them lost an arm, actually during a climbing accident. No, they weren't the person that was in the in that weird movie. What is it called, 72 Hours or something? I don't know. It they I don't know the specifics. It was literally, they just said it was a climbing accident, and I'm like, okay. It would would be really funny if it was just something really mundane, but they wanted to sound badass and cool, so they basically said, like, you know, like instead of like, oh, I slammed it into a fridge door in a supermarket, they in fact were like, so how did this happen? I was climbing on like Everest, and it was awesome. And you know, it was kind of a thing of like, it was at first it was frostbitten, and then this like mammoth came out of nowhere and just kind of like ran at us, and I shielded our whole party with just my arm when it was running at us, and that's how basically I lost my arm. No, I'm sure they are completely sincere, and it was a climbing accident that made them lose their arm. But yeah, the other guy was basically he's diabetic, and like he had like severe foot ulcers and stuff because of his diabetes, and like he had to have his leg cut off basically. Um, he's a bear. He's a bear friend of mine. But yeah, I've talked to both of these people, and they both say that basically, like, yeah, it's actually kind of really cool. You know, they actually both are totally okay, and kind of prefer their life without that limb. You know, and it was like, if you listen to them, you totally understand. So yeah, I'm not making fun or basically like belittling, you know, amputees. I'm I'm just saying from experience, it's not that big of a deal. I know that again, somebody in the past when I have talked about this, or at least like breached the subject a little bit, like somebody was like, you shouldn't be like that, you know, you're making fun of these people that have like really tragic lives and stuff like that. And it's like, no, I'm not. It's like the people that were basically like horrified when I said that being in a wheelchair was awesome. But it's like, yeah, it was awesome. I am jealous of people that are in wheelchairs sometimes. I'm actually jealous of them, because when I was in a wheelchair, it was awesome. You can't get me to change my opinion. It was great. You know, my experience being in a wheelchair, you know, being stuck in a wheelchair was fucking awesome. It's a bike that you get to basically go everywhere in, even inside buildings. You can't you can't say anything. You can't change my mind on this. It was great. It was great. The only downside to it, you're sitting down, and you know how much I hate sitting down. You know, you're permanently sat down. Like that's the only downside, in my opinion, to the whole wheelchair debate. You know, but yeah, I still sometimes get people basically like poking me, saying it's like, yeah, I really liked your content until you basically made fun of like you know, the disabled people. And it's like, when did I do that? I don't ever. When the fuck did I do that? What are you saying? What are you talking about? And this is the only thing I can think of. That basically that's what those comments mean. You know, when people say stuff like that, it's like, I'm not making fun of disabled people. I'm saying that when I was in a wheelchair, it was awesome. and that I'm jealous of people that get to run around in wheelchairs. Some of the electric ones are fucking spaceships. It's like it is ridiculous now. You know, they can stand up and stuff. It's crazy. It's basically that they're just like one step away, just a little bit, far away from essentially having an Iron Man suit. You know, you can't. At some point, your sympathy, like, yes, I have sympathy for whatever's put them in the wheelchair, but I don't have sympathy for the fact that they are in the wheelchair. I am jealous. it's too fun. If you've never been in a wheelchair before, you can basically just get a wheelchair and try it for a little while. You know, I'm not saying that you should pretend to be kind of disabled in any way. I'm just saying that if you want to try to be in a wheelchair, just try it out give it a whirl. You know, it's a lot of fun. It's a weirdly a lot of fun. You know, but yeah. Anyway, I've gone off on the. This all started because I was talking about my feet problems, because I've got feet problems right now. But yeah, I don't know what to do. I didn't know what to do. My feet hurt. It's annoying. I kind of have a problem though. I kind of have a problem though with my feet in general, and that is that I can ignore the pain. Like I can switch off the pain in my feet, unless I'm basically like, you know, my foot gets run over or something. Then like if my feet start hurting and I'm walking, then I'll be like, that's weird. It's harder to walk. What gives? Then kind of like I do the mental trick of like, okay, turn on pain receptors in my feet. And it's like, oh, okay, ow, wow. Yeah, I have a huge blister or something on my foot. That really hurt. It's something that basically like if you if you do a lot of swimming, then it's something that you kind of learn, I guess. Because I've had a couple of like Navy friends and stuff like talk to me about this as well, about how basically like when they're swimming and they kind of like experience a something sharp or something, then yeah, there's a momentary like pain, but then it goes away immediately because your body is too involved with doing the whole keeping you alive because you're in water thing to basically let you be that hurt by, you know, by overwhelming you with the amount of pain that you've just experienced and stuff like that. That's sometimes why you can feel kind of like it's, if you're wet, you know, if you're having like a water fight or something in your garden, and like you get like you have like a scratch or something, it's like that really hurts, but then it kind of goes away. But the actual initial scratch hurts way more than if you just were scratched without being wet. It's something to do with like human sensory it's a thing. But yeah, I can do that with my feet when I'm walking. I basically can just like switch off my pain thing, you know. It's like I can ignore it. That's it. You know, that's a more human way of explaining it. I can ignore the pain in my feet while I'm walking if I'm walking long distances. Like when I'm walking around, when I do the twice yearly walk around London, um, like when I'm on the train on the way back home, I'll suddenly basically just be there, and I'll kind of be like staring at my feet, um, according to Damon anyway. And he's like, "What are you doing? You know, what are you thinking?" And I'm like, "Nothing. I'm just trying to kind of like not be in pain again still." And he's like, "Why?" And it's like, "Because this shoe is mostly filled with blood." At some point, I hurt my foot when I was walking, and I just ignored it for the rest of the day. So yeah, I'm gonna have to like hop to the car when we get off the train. So, yeah. But yeah. Ugh. But yeah, bicarbonate of soda. If anybody can tell me if that's bad, if it's on your skin for long periods of time, let me know. Because like I've got, I've filled my shoes with it. That's not true. I didn't fill my shoes with it. I sprinkled some in my shoes while I was having a shower, and then while I was filming, I left my shoes to basically do their thing with the baking powder, and then just put my foot in it, and now they feel better, but not as better as I was expecting after giving my feet the scrubby treatment in the shower. Not a lot of people talking tonight. Not a lot of advice. It's okay. You don't think it is? You don't think it? What you mean about the? You don't think there's a problem? There is a problem having it in my shoe with my bare feet. Okay, I will believe you. What were you asking about, by the way, Panda Fox? You were asking me if I was gonna like do a live filming session or something. You don't think it's a problem? Yeah. I just wanted confirmation. I didn't think so either, but it's just that, I've had situations where basically I said I said, oh no, I just I put some acid on this cut, and it basically like it helped me in the past, so it should be fine now. And they're like, oh my god, I'll have a medical friend or something basically yell at me. And be like, no, you shouldn't have done that. That's those strips are meant for basically immediate disinfection and stuff like that. And it's like, okay, I'm sure it's fine, but okay. It's kind of like when you have a medical friend, somebody that works in hospital or basically is like a nurse or a doctor or something, and you do you do the old wives' tale stuff. Oh, no, no. You do the old wives' tale stuff, and they're like, "Oh my god, you should not do that." And then you're like, "But it seems actually kind of reasonable to do that." And then they explain exactly why you shouldn't do that, and you're like, "Ugh." No, I get it. It's fine. But yeah, I'm trying to think of a good example. I think it was I think it wasn't a me thing. That's why I'm having trouble. It's like this has definitely happened, but not to me. I've witnessed it happen to somebody else. I'm pretty sure. I think it was. I'm trying to think. Was it one of my lieutenants, or was that before that even? I'm just going to use them as the example anyway. So when I was captain of the naval cadets, etc., one of my lieutenants was a medical guy. No, it was. Yep, it was him. Yep, never mind. He also had medical training, so he could be a medic, and that's why he was in fact in the naval cadets program. Anyway, the other lieutenant was essentially kind of like he had an ear infection, and then like a year before this happened, he had an ear infection, and he was frightened of getting another ear infection. So what he did was, like he would get some lemon juice and basically just like squeeze it into his ear and stuff, because like in the past this is what his family did to help, basically get rid of waxy buildup and stop and prevent ear infections. And like he had like a cotton bud in one ear and came into work, and the other lieutenant was asking him about it, and it was kind of a case of like he was just horrified when he was told that it's like, yeah, I've got some lemon juice in my ear. It's just like the cotton's like absorbing all the extra wax and stuff. And he's like, oh my god, no, don't do that. Don't ever do that. That's crazy. Citric acid is really good at degreasing stuff. Yes. It's also acid. It's also bad for you. If basically like if it's like against the skin, apparently it can like actually burn and stuff, or at least cause tingling and stinging. And it's like, well, that's why he's doing it though, right? Like, to me, witnessing all of this happen, I was just kind of just watching this interaction, and I kind of wanted to weigh in because both sides sounded so logical, and it was like, to the point where I've actually done this, to the point where I've had an itchy ear, and to basically kind of just I've actually put lemon juice in my ear because I thought I had wax buildup or something, and it worked. I didn't keep it in there with a cotton bud, but I basically like, put some in my ear, waited for it to kind of like get into all the right places, and then waited another minute or so, and then let it drain. And it was like, yep, that feels way better. It feels so much better. I'm not telling people to do this, by the way. I'm just saying that based on previous experience, it was kind of like I kind of see both sides. I'm going to try this at some stage. But yeah, anyway. I'm sorry, Panda Frogs. I just went off on a whole thing about like ears and lemon juice and stuff. Anyway, the film, the inflation video. Yeah, I don't want to do that on YouTube, especially today, because I don't know if anybody's noticed, or if anybody's watching this on playback that has noticed and has already like probably sent me a message or something, because they're wondering where the hell the Inflatable Tubs channel went. But YouTube has taken that channel down because they're stating that it was it violated a bunch of terms and services of like sexual content and stuff like that. Even though I've always been super duper kind of like clear on not showing anything in particular, and not showing anything adult. And I'm sorry, I just found a big knot. Either untangle or basically come off. At the end of that, there's a knot. It's really annoying. Anyway, yeah. Even though I'm super careful about basically, I try not to put, stuff that is overly sexual on YouTube, and it's like, yeah, because I have the opinion that essentially everybody's into everything. Like, some people are crazy into, like literally people. I was going to say people in uniforms, but that's a bit on the nose for somebody who may be watching this live stream right now. Oh my god. Glasses. Here we go. That's like that seems to be a weirdly common thing. But yeah, some people are insanely sexually attracted to the point where it is considered a fetish. Sorry, out of the corner of my eye when I was looking at the preview, it looked like something was moving up here, which there might have been, but I think it's hiding whatever it is. As long as it's not a daddy long leg spider, which usually don't show up on camera, then I should be okay. I might have to look at the playback, you know, like scroll it back a little bit or whatever in a second. Yeah. I am stuck looking at that on both the monitors now. Yeah, some people are like super into like glasses or Santa or whatever. So like is YouTube going to take down every video that basically has somebody with glasses and is wearing a Santa suit in it? Because that would be kind of dumb, you know. But I understand the point. It's kind of like it. I'm kind of sort of amazed that that particular channel hasn't been targeted yet. I think it's more of a case of like YouTube doesn't really care. I literally think that it's somebody that basically has something against me. This is how the other channels have been taken down. Somebody literally has something against me, and they kind of like spam report a video or something. Because again, like I said, I know that's how other channels have been taken down, because sometimes people gloat. Like, I'm not kidding. Like sometimes people actually like send me a message afterwards, like through whatever social media they found me on, and are like, it's like, ha, you know, I'm the one that basically got your video taken down or your channel taken down or whatever. And it's because like they just don't like me, or they don't like the fact that I put any content out on YouTube and stuff. Or one time it was literally because they thought I was too boring to be on YouTube. And it's like, yeah, who made you the excitement police? I don't understand what the whole point is of people that do this. If you don't like somebody or don't like their content, then you just don't watch it. It's seriously that simple. But yeah, no, there are people that are just kind of like out there that just want to be annoying, or at least try to be annoying. Because I'm not annoyed. I'm not even surprised. I when I got the message, I was kind of like, gonna have to post that content over to the Tank of Tubs channel from now on, or whatever the general theme of the video is in which I'm doing the human balloon video in. So yeah, if anybody's looking for the content or looking for new content for that video, for that channel, then I'm probably going to post it on the Tank of Tubs from now on, all the human balloon videos that are public, until that one gets taken down, probably. Like, they are all going to go at some point. However, and I emphasize the point by basically also putting it on Discord, I have been, for the past couple of live streams, I mean, like, they can't really touch the Bear Tubs channel, because all of the content on the Bear Tubs channel is unlisted, because it's the videos that I post early for the people who are patron members or my friends and stuff. So like, nobody can really report on them that isn't a fan of mine, or at least a friend of mine, you know, and they just wouldn't do that. I hope. So at least this channel is probably never going to go away. So you can, I mean, I'm still going to do live streams on here. You know, yeah. This vid, I have mentioned this website a couple of times in a couple of the previous live streams. This vid seems to be just like I knew what it was. I just didn't know if anybody had any previous experience with this vid and if it basically is any good. You know, I was hoping, I didn't expect, but I was hoping that when I mentioned this vid, that somebody out there would be like, "Oh no, it's good. It actually is really great. It's really great. Yeah, like I can see you putting your archive on there without any problems or anything like that." So when that didn't happen, I'm still questioning it. I'm more leaning to to actually doing it. It's more of a case of like uh it seems to be just another clone of like like Xtube and Xhamster and all of that stuff. And I have no problems with like the faux Pornhub sites and stuff like that. The problem with those sites is that they seem to always have viruses and something. My computer never comes it never seems to be rid of, it never seems to be unsullied by being in these places. There always seems to be something that's like actually on my computer now, just because I had a look at this one website to see if it was good. And that's how I felt about when I actually just checked out this vid. So it's like I'm a little bit wary about actually like giving them any information just yet until I'm absolutely certain that it's going to be all right. It's going to be okay to actually post stuff on this vid. So this will hopefully fix the problem of the online archive situation. I think maybe, I don't know. Hmm. Do you like the beard, by the way? I'm just seeing it again. I don't have a mirror. This is the only time I get to see myself, and it's like I swear the last time I was on, it kind of was more scraggly and shit, whereas like now it's kind of like it's gone back to being curly and dense, I guess. I don't know. Simple shower is all it takes sometimes. Um, I personally don't trust this vid. Okay. I'm still open to hearing about alternatives. I am. It's just that, like, if more, I fully expect at some point that all of my channels, except for this one, will eventually be targeted and taken down from YouTube. Especially if they keep going with the way that they are going with the extra sensitive and the extra ads and the oh my god, I can't, I almost just quit YouTube, as a customer, not as a producer, but as an actual customer. The other day, I almost quit YouTube because on one video, it was a Game Grumps video. On one video, not only did it keep popping up with the whole "this video will pause soon" thing, tap to confirm. Like, I'm not kidding. This happened like 3 times within 5 minutes. But in between that happening, I'd get the same ad. and I like it was winding me up so much. I nearly quit. I just nearly quit as a customer in YouTube. It was just, yeah. There's a lot of ads that could lead to viruses on this vid. I'm guessing that's what you mean. Well, even if I just ignore the ads, like I said, they kind of on this vid. I still seem to have picked up a couple of like random viruses or something that basically my firewall was just kind of like, that's bad to be here, right? And I'm like, yeah, I know. And I almost wanted to make a joke of like, yeah, I get it, it's a porn site, whatever, How comes the computers being super Mr. Morality all of a sudden? And then he would be like, no, I bet it's bad too. No. I had a micro nap today. I fell asleep in this chair. I basically just did this. While I was trying to have a little break, and I put on City Skylines, and then I kind of blinked, and all of a sudden there was chaos happening on my screen. So yeah, stop beating the chair. I'm trying not to get my hopes up because every time I do this, it fucks with me. It fucks with me so hard. It fucks with me so hard. Oh, oh. It does. It really does like trigger an enormous depression whenever I do get my hopes up. But I may have found new studio space. And I may be getting a new office. I may be like at least part-time also living someplace else soon. So again, May. Try not to get my hopes up. But it's looking good so far. I need to go see the place first and check out the location and stuff and everything. So I may be getting a new chair. So as much as I don't want this chair to break and everything, because it's like I can't afford to get another chair right now, but I may be getting a new chair. Honestly, when it comes to the office, I just need somewhere to sit. It doesn't have to recline. It doesn't have to do anything. I haven't used the recline feature on this chair for ever, and I don't really use the, going up and down feature and the movement of the armrests. It's just, yeah. But yeah, I don't know how public he wants to be about it, but essentially, the Andy guy that has been in my Discord server recently, like that guy is the one that's basically offering this space. So yeah, I'm just trying not to blow it. But like he's been super nice, and like I'm looking forward to like going over and checking out the digs. So yeah. The studio space sounds really promising. So yeah. It's gotten cold in here. Whatever you are on the shelf, could you not jump out at me when I turn on the heating? Thank you. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't seem to be. It doesn't seem to be. It seems to be he's just a a very, very generous friend at the moment. He seems to be just a very, very generous friend that is offering me this space. Because I'm in need, I guess. Um, but yeah. But like I said, there might be a catch. I haven't been there yet to go and investigate. But like I've met him. He's also paid for some content of mine on Just for Fans. He's subscribed on Just for Fans, so he's already paid for a bunch of content from me, and yeah, it's like super nice guy. It's like I don't foresee any bullshit. So we'll just see how this goes. We'll just see how this goes. I'm kind of annoyed at well, I'm not really annoyed. I would say disappointed, but I'm not even disappointed. The guy that wanted to basically fund all of my content and my future projects and stuff, um, seems to have completely disappeared, and that's a big bummer considering that we had the best initial meeting ever. It's like the part two of that meeting is just like we're coming up on a year since that initial meeting, and it's like it doesn't seem to be happening. So like I'm bummed out. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. It's not really impacted me as much as I thought it would. I think it's just because I intentionally kind of thought that this was too good to be true. So I didn't really kind of have my hopes all super built up. You know, I did this thing where basically I was like, it's like, oh, it'll be awesome because then I can do this and that, and I can go here and there, and there's a huge spiderweb on my radio now. Huh? You're encased. It's all over the buttons and the knobs and everything. I touched this 2 days ago. Put it on charge two days ago. Seriously, guys, could you not? On the things I'm touching and feeling and stuff. Assholes. I've tried checking on him a couple of times. I've been intentionally not super needy. Like not appearing super needy. Um, so yeah. Like he's obviously got his own shit that he needs to deal with, and but like I totally get it. I just wish that he was more transparent about it. I'm not going to get into the stuff, his personal stuff, but like, yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Um, yeah. So I intentionally kind of like did say, I can do this and that, and I can go here and film this thing. I can also have holidays and stuff, and I can come and visit Itchy, and it'll be great. you know. But then I always had that kind of thing whenever I had these thoughts, and I would basically it would always be punctuated at the very end with a, it's a nice fantasy if it can happen. It's nice to think about it if that was possible. You know, it was almost kind of like I protected myself. Stop looking back there. It's hard because the camera is set up right in front of the window, and the window is where there's just Spiderweb City, and I'm suddenly noticing the new webs. Like there's old layers of webs, old canopies of webs because they're canopy spiders. Um, but then there's new with the way the light's shining off them, and it's very distracting because it's right behind the camera. So yeah. Anyway, yeah. So my brain kind of like automatically protected itself against future depression, I guess, by basically always saying after I had these thoughts of like, oh, it would be great if that could happen. Like, yeah, that would be amazing. You know, always a would, as if it wasn't ever going to happen. You know, kind of like stunting the expectations, I guess. I don't know. But yeah. I keep trying to. I almost want to do this with Andy, but I don't know. I don't know the exact what the exact situation is going to be yet until I'm actually there. So I'm going there next month at some point, sometime in June, which is cool. And also, I get to meet um, a fellow proto Santa in Scotland in July, which is going to be that's going to be really good. I'm really looking forward to that. So yeah, and I've been talking to him almost daily as well. It's like, well, we talk on grammar, so that's nice. So yeah, I'm gonna have my Christmas in July in Scotland with a fellow proto Santa. So we're gonna be Santas together. I'm really looking forward to that. So yeah, things are happening. Things are happening. Interesting things are happening. Like again, things that I can actually get excited about because at least one of these good things that is lined up is possible. And I'm okay with that. As well as the regular stuff that's also good, you know, like the 1940s weekend and like the Steam rally as well. That's always those are two events that are annual and they're always pretty good, you know. It's like it's Itchy in September as well. Itchy's coming in September. I'm still not entirely sure that's actually happening. It's starting to not look so good. I haven't got any confirmation or anything from him. So yeah, who is the Santa? Well, he's a proto Santa. Yeah, it's a guy in Scotland who's a little bit older than me. Who basically like we talked for ages on Gromo, but we just well he thought that I'd never come up to see him in Scotland. So basically, he's never actually like invited me because, like I said, he never thought that I would come up to Scotland to come see him, even though I totally would. So yeah, just a few months ago, he said, "Yeah, shame you're so far away," and I'm like, "I'm just south, just a bit south than you." You know, like I checked the train tickets. Train tickets in the UK are getting back to normal. I don't know if I just jinxed that, but train ticket prices in the UK are getting to at least they seem to be dropping them a lot. Sometimes by actually kind of like a weirdly crazy amount. Like Manchester, I got a train to go to Manchester for Bear Bash. That cost me $300. In the past, it cost me like $80. Granted, it was one way, and like it was only me in standard class, but it was like, really? Well, when I booked the ticket, I was like, really? Huh? Okay. So yeah. In truth, it didn't actually cost me anything because my buddy paid for that. I can't afford $80 for a train ticket. That's crazy. But yeah, he got some merch out of me, basically. So, like, I did pay for it in a way, I guess. Anyway, yeah, the Santa is basically a Scottish bear, an older Scottish bear that is Santa shaped. Yeah, we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna have Christmas in July at his place, and it's gonna be great. I'm very much looking forward to it. He wants to feed me some barbecue. I'm very up for this. Yeah, I'm trying to think of anything else I need to say or anything. I think I'm good. Yeah, I still need an option, a viable alternative then to this vid. Why barbecue? It's just what you do in July. Why not? Panafox, why do you have to be such a party pooper? Like, seriously? Why barbecue? It's like, because it's nice. And it's sunny, and it's like, weather's nice, it's great. It's awesome, you know? Of course we're going to have a barbecue. I thought it was an American thing. Well, so Americans own the idea of cooking meat outside on the grill. You think you own that? You think that you're original when it came to this? Are you insane? Like, I'm pretty sure nearly everybody has done this. Like every culture, I'm pretty sure every culture has done this. I'm pretty sure that was the thing. Because of 4th of July, Christmas isn't on the 4th of July. Christmas in July is on the 25th of July. So now you're just boasting that I am not allowed to celebrate something, or I can't celebrate something because I'm in the wrong country. Why are you again? Why are you being mean? You're being a party pooper, or you're just being mean? What gives? What gives, dude? Who hurt you? What gives? You only heard of the word July. A, Panafox, I'm messing with you, and B, it's because it's funny. It's just funny. Although you do seem to be weirdly kind of just randomly negative about things that I'm positive about at the moment, and that's annoying. Yeah, but you do that a lot, Panafox. You do that a lot about you question the good things. Why are you questioning the good things? Can't you just have the good things? Can't you just let me have the good things? Why are you questioning the good things? It's got to be a catch. Why barbecue? Who's the Santa? It's like, seriously, like, ask a question. Well, you know what I mean. It's like it's pointed party poopering questions. They're asked in a very, and I get it. It's probably just easier to type and text. This, but it's not like, ooh, who's the Santa? It's like, oh, awesome. Why barbecue though? Like it's always, why barbecue? Just why barbecue? If you ask it in a shorthand, it's always very, it's going to sound short. No, you're not mean for asking questions. It's just that you have to admit that when somebody asks asks questions in that way, instead of the way that I demonstrated just now, that they do seem kind of like to be kind of poking holes in somebody's good time, which could be considered to be a dick move. Okay, now I feel like you're just doing this on purpose. Again, messing with you, but at the same time, seriously, you don't see this? It's a good thing you're cute, Panafox. Otherwise, I'd be really tempted to just like run you over or something. I don't know. Has anybody else watching this, out of the 5 people that are watching this, has anybody else got anything that they want to ask me or say to me before I go? What? I can drive. Where do you think that I can't drive? How do you think I can't drive? Where did this come from? See, randomly negative now. Not even making sense. Negativeness, negativity. It's like you just took the negative, like the minus mark from next to your plumb bar, and just like, right, I'm gonna throw this at him. Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? You can't drive though. How is that a positive sentence? You can't. Negative. It's a negative. Drive though, and the delivery is negative. I just never seen you behind the wheel. It's because I never have a picture of me driving something. But I have driven. I do drive. I have a license and everything. I just I don't want to drive. I choose not to drive. You're too nervous to drive. Okay, now you're just making sentences that don't make sense. I'm not too nervous to drive. I don't want to drive. It is because it is very, very kind of like I am very, very much aware of the whole. If I got into an accident here, then I could kill someone. So don't do that. You know? And I'm just sick of having that thought. That's why I don't drive generally. However, I have, in emergency situations, I have driven. But yeah, Panafox, you're doing this on purpose or something. You are like, all you have to do to stop me from being annoyed at you right now is literally say, dude, I'm messing with you, or I'm messing with you too, you know, because now you're starting to not even make sense is the thing. It's like you've been hit on the head, or you haven't had enough water or something. I didn't want to be I didn't want to do the condescending thing to you yet, you know. Do the whole thing of like, I was like, "Are you okay? Are you drinking enough water?" You know. Right, but it seems that you're actually trying to get me to not mess with you anymore, but actually be annoyed with you when you make shit up. When you try to gaslight me on the whole, like, like you can't drive. It's like, yeah, I can. I'm pretty sure I can. That's when it starts to become not just messing. It's like you are straight up fucking with them. I don't know. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go. Has anybody got anything else they want to ask me or say to me? I'm leaving. Well, Panafox is coming up with his next thing to make me feel bad. Yeah. I recorded 2 videos. I've recorded 3 videos. But I just haven't like released them on account of well, they were going to go on the Inflatable Tubs channel for one thing, and for the other things, I'm like, these haven't been paid for videos, except for the construction worker orange juice chugging video that I filmed just before the inflation video, the human balloon video, today. So there's a cowboy inflation video, cowboy human balloon video, and then there's a construction pig human balloon video. And yeah, these videos are on hold until I finish the pick dump, unless somebody pays for them. But the construction worker orange juice chug video, that one has been paid for and is going to be is the next thing to be edited. So that's probably going to come out sometime tomorrow, or at least by tomorrow night. So that's when that's coming out. You think? Can you get the... I've not posted it on anything. It's probably too big also to go into Discord. I'm trying to think if like, is there anything I'm going to edit out of these videos? But I don't think there's anything else. I don't think I'm going to edit anything out of these. So you might just be better off waiting for the video to go out. You know? Yeah, I don't think I'm not gonna cut out anything. Oh, apart from when the phone fell over. Apart from when the phone slid off the toilet, because I recorded it in the bathroom and the phone was on the toilet, so I could sit on the edge of the bath. Because I thought the acoustics would be better in there, because they usually are and stuff. So yeah. So the phone was on the toilet and it just was propped up and it just slid and then fell. So I'm going to cut that part out, but all the rest of the video is going to be in. Like, that's the only thing I'm cutting out of that video. The rest of it is staying in. Anyway, yeah, so that's the next one to come out, and for the people who are not patrons, or haven't made a contribution or anything to the public, it'll probably be out on the Tanker Tubbs channel in around about a month's time, or it'll be out on one of the other ones. Yeah, the Builder Farmer Tubbs channel. I think that channel's still around. It might be out on that one. I don't know yet. I haven't decided where to put it. There will be a preview. So wherever the preview goes, that's where the main video is going to go. So yeah. No, what am I saying? That's it will be the, oh my god, the juice chugging one that I'm talking about, not the human balloon videos. The human balloon videos are going to have to wait until I finish the pick dump, which is less than 10% done. Because I'm tired, I want to go to bed. And I've had a long day. I've had a long couple of days, okay? So, yeah. If you're on my Discord, though, then I've been upscaling a bunch of my old sketches and stuff using ChatGPT. And by the way, just a quick aside, I've heard people say ChatGPT so many times that it's kind of stuck in my brain. But it's ChatGPT, isn't it? You know, it's a P, not a B. But I keep typing GBT. Yeah, I get it. I get that's what it actually is. But did anybody else think that it was also ChatGPT? Or is this just a me thing? I swear everybody who's talked about it has basically said ChatGPT instead of ChatGPT. Am I just listening to the wrong people with the wrong inflections on the wrong parts of the word of the letter? You know, maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's an accent thing. I don't know. The point is, this has been driving me nuts. But I am liking the actual results that I'm starting to get from it, because it's starting to actually make sense and do the right thing. Basically, I'm annoyed that ChatGPT doesn't know proportions of big dudes, or it changes the proportions of big dudes, and I don't know if it's trying to be more realistic or what, but I did a test of a few of my drawings, and like the big Santa picture actually came out okay. Like that's a thing. It seemed to have like a limit of like how much a person could weigh before it would basically just not do. It wouldn't cross this limit. It's like if they're above 800 pounds, if they're above like 700, 600-700 pounds, like I'm not going to draw it. And it's like I kind of was testing that to see if that was like the actual issue, but it literally seems to be anybody that's seated. It seems to say that somebody seated can't weigh more than a certain amount. I think that's the issue. Um, if somebody's standing, also they can't weigh more than a certain amount as well. Otherwise, it will radically change the length of their legs, or it will make their head massive compared to the original drawing, or something. You know, it's like it's like how the sailor got turned into a policeman, but then the policeman is like he's very well proportioned for a slightly overweight policeman, but he's not. He's only slightly overweight. The drawing depicted somebody who was very overweight and you could tell that because you could see the size of their head and the width of their shoulders and you know the size of their tummy, but it seems to have upscaled like his head, his shoulders, not his tummy, and also shortened his legs. And he looks both weird but correct somehow. And that's what GPT does. It just kind of like it doesn't know how to keep the proportions of the original image, the actual original image proportions. And that's what it was having a problem with the Crusoe picture. It seemed to like, oh well, he's sitting down. It's like he's not. In the picture, he's not sitting down. He's actually like broken his chair. He's sitting on rubble. you know it's kind of, yeah, it's a thing. The computer didn't understand how to do this, and no matter what I did to this picture, it wasn't having it. So yeah, funny how it has standards. Again, you pie pooper. Why are you pie poopering? You're pie poopering. Stop pie poopering. It's not that it has standards. It's like I said, it doesn't get it yet. What's really frustrating is that it will talk to you as if it does get it. Like I tell it exactly what's wrong with the picture. I tell it the exact proportions I'm looking for. I tell it I give it an example of like my sketches and my old artwork and stuff, and it's like, oh, I see what I've done here. Okay, now I'll do in the next one. I'm preparing it now. In the next one, I'm gonna do what you say. I'm gonna maintain proportions. I'm going to use this as an example. I've even given it cultural context as well. Like I've given it cultural context. I've used the whole, like the blueberry scene from Willy Wonka, or basically like round like a sphere, or and and like Mr. Crusoe and stuff like that. It understands these references. It at least it says it does, and yet it spat out the same picture, just slightly more different. It's like, oh my god, stop it! Stop doing this. It says it says it gets it, but it doesn't get it, and it's annoying. I'll put my shoes back on because I've got to stand up now. But this is the problem. I can't see my shoes. to put my shoes on. Especially since, like, I've put my foot on top of my shoe. I'm just going to have to pick up the shoes. I just don't want to touch the ground because, like I said, there's bugs. The second I touch the ground, it's just like they seem to know where my feet are. It's not bugs plural. It's usually just like one bug, like a woodlouse. Ugh, bending. Oh. I gave ChatGPT a picture of myself, and then I asked it to alter this picture, and it said that I can't do that. It's disrespectful to the person in the picture. And then I said, it's a picture of me, and they're like, I still can't do that. It would be disrespectful. And I was like, even to me? They just want to nuzzle your toes. No, they think you're a dead body. I'm not kidding. That's basically what bugs think. When they're on you, they're looking for an opening so that they can get in and eat. Or they're terrified and they want to run away. Especially if they're spiders or something. That if they're not actually true bugs, because spiders are arachnids and they're not bugs. What's the correct term? They're closer to crustaceans than they are insects or something. Anyway. Yeah. Hypothetically speaking, well, yeah, that's true. Yeah, kind of. Yeah, my feet feel better in the shoe. I don't get it. Anyway. Ugh. But yeah, I got like a really good couple of pictures of myself, which is kind of funny. I also got a picture of myself, just giving it a description. Like, just giving it a very, very like a I gave it a description. I should post this picture. I don't know if I need to go on to, if it'll save it in my own personal gallery, but I gave it a description of basically the younger version of this old sea captain that it had produced, like this fat old sea captain. It had made a fat old sea captain, and I said, could you make him like a younger salt and pepper beard instead of white giant fuzzy beard like he had in the picture? And it did it, and then it was like that was me. It was me. He basically managed to. It was only the face, but it basically I was looking at it. I was like, I know this person. I'm pretty sure I know this guy. Who is this? It's me, isn't it? It's like fuck. It's weird. Anyway, honestly, I say gaslighting once, and that's it. You're fixated now. Right? Okay. Yeah. Day after tomorrow, maybe be back. Probably another editing stream. I don't know. Well, actually, I would edit today, but I'm actually tired. I didn't get much sleep last night. I got a couple of hours of really good sleep, but then yeah, I'm leaving. I was tempted to not even do this part because someone was being mean. But yeah, belly rubs. Oh, it's cold. and belly salute. Why is it cold? After I get out of the shower and I dry off, my tummy feels warm, and then after, like an hour after I've showered, it stays cold for ages. Like it's adapted to the temperature. I don't know. I just need somebody to just kind of like put their hand just on it so that it can adapt to their body temperature. I guess it doesn't feel uncomfortable or anything. It's just like, yeah, I don't know. Toodles.